Good day to be here, and it's so lovely, really lovely to be here, great peeps. Yeah, today I'm going to be talking about something very important to us, and that is education. Something about education, but education as it relates to the way the colonial predators brought it to us. We used to have our own form of education before their advent, and our form of education was wrapped in between our culture and tradition. But when the our enslavers came, the colonial masters, everything changed. And you know why they had to change everything? Because they had to totally and eternally program us. They had to control us. They have to brainwash us. And so that's why I'm going to be talking about why the colonial education is a tool for control and brainwash of the black man, of the African man, of Nigerians, of the African man. Yeah, let me go ahead. As blacks, spirituality guides our life. Our culture informs our life. Our culture is our primary educational system that teaches us our values, morals, interests, and principles until the colonial predators came with their colonial education system to take us off course. The education industry is a brainwash industry set up by the colonial predators to spread and solidify their religious, political, social, capitalist, and democratic and white supremacy agenda. You can say they are clever. As blacks, these colonial predators had robbed us of our identity, our heritage, and our real selves, our destiny and purpose. And we might be eternally doomed if we don't begin to wake up now. Because if we keep practicing the culture of those who practice genocide against us, then it simply means we are practicing the highest form of genocide against ourselves. Let's start rewriting history. It's time to start writing history for our coming generations and taking positive steps to regaining back our lost heritage. Now, do you know why the black nations, especially Africa, is always at the lowest rung and strata of every department on this planet, despite its highest form of religiosity? I'll tell you, it's because we have accepted the brainwash of the colonial predators and made ourselves second and third class citizens in a planet we originated. Yes, blacks actually originated this planet. Now, to buttress my point, let me take you through a few lines. Check this out. Why is the educational system designed to teach us the enslavers' language? For example, in Nigeria, our two masters were the Europeans and the Arabs. That's why a set of us does English while the other set does Arabic. And I've always wondered why we are being punished or rebuked for speaking our own language and dialect in schools. You can see how we have been gotten from childhood. In our society, we tend to look down on people who can't express themselves well in the white man's language, while ours has become like taboo to us. Every home nowadays has lost it, as we don't speak nor teach our children our languages anymore. Instead, we take pride in the white man's language. To me, this is sacrilege, as we have almost eroded our identity and who we really are, gradually making ourselves third-class citizens in a planet we originated as blacks. Instead of our school system teaching students by our indigenous languages like China and other great countries are doing, we keep following the instituted and regimented format of our colonial masters, which was designed to eternally program us to see them as superiors and masters. This is so bad. This is too bad. Okay. Another sad one is this as it relates to my country's currency, that's the Naira in Nigeria. At the time, the government of my country was under serious contention of putting the Arabic language on the Nigerian currency. This is high-level display of some unpatriotic attitude from people who are supposed to be the leaders and protectors of our heritage. And it is so disheartening and very implicative. Moreover, how can we ever move forward with such corrupt and unpatriotic idea and attitude? Let's think about this. It's time we go back to our languages, our honor, our pride, our identity, which is one of the ways to actually redeem ourselves. Now check this out as well. Why is the educational system designed to teach and brainwash us with the two enslavers' religious traditions? That is CRK, the Christian religious knowledge, and IRK, that's the Islamic religious knowledge, instead of our own indigenous traditions and culture. Wow, it's a pity that we were not given a chance to think, as we have been brainwashed from childhood schooling with these two deadly religious subjects, that's CRK and IRK, with which they enslaved our ancestors. They called our own traditions evil and fetish. Meanwhile, they kept all our ancestral relics in their universities and museums without burning or destroying them if truly they were evil. Look at that. The saddest part of it is, as blacks, we are now deeper than them in their own religions and games. And the deeper we go, the more it seems like there is no hope in sight for us. Let's wake up, my people, and let's go back to our ways. We can't expect to grow when we are not ourselves but someone else. Let's think, let's wake up. Let's check this out too. Why is the educational system designed to teach and brainwash us that is only the white who invented everything, when in actual fact it has been proven that it's the blacks who had the most and major inventions on this planet? Why? Now, from the invention of the internet, the computer, your phones, music, the first automobile, the light bulb, and thousands of other great inventions, which are being swept under by some serious conspiracy theory. You can simply do your research on that. The information is there. Now, check this out as well. Why is the educational system designed to teach and brainwash us that it was Mungo Park? Listen to this. They came here to tell us in our own land that it was Mungo Park who discovered our own River Niger. That River Niger that has been giving us life and food before their arrival. Think about that. What are they trying to prove? That they came to save us, or what? They came to teach us our own ways or land and show us our own lands? What are they trying to prove? That they discovered a race which existed before them, or what? Anyways, I understand that the ones and the people with the upper hand always write history. So I understand that game. Now let's go check this out as well. Why is the educational system designed to teach or brainwash us that Mary Slessor stopped the killings of twins, when in actual fact we honored and revered twins as Orisha, as deities, as gods? We see them in our culture, in the African culture, in the black culture. We see twins as something big and we actually revere them. But now, what a bad intention to paint us barbaric and evil, when in actual fact it was their own Bible that has the most horrific and barbaric records of human killings and sacrifices in the history of mankind. Yes, you might be like, what? Yeah, but that's the truth. Go and check it out. Right there in the Bible. Go and check it out. Now, let's go forward. Why is the educational system designed to teach or brainwash us with the white man's way of etiquette, when we had our ways? We had our own ways before they came. Now, check this out. It's so sad, but check it out and think about it. Our ways of dressing and fashion are almost extinct. Our women's hairdo and skin toning is done with the intention to look and be like the white folks. And we also want to sound like them in their own language. So sad. What a third class and inferior way of living. That's what we are doing to ourselves. Why can't we be ourselves? Speaker, do our thing and be first class on this planet. Why? Look at this. Our borrowed eating culture is now resulting into many chronic diseases and deaths. And our life expectancy is nothing to write home about today, as it used to be, compared to what it used to be. Why? We've left our way. We've left nature's way. We've left nature. We've left it. Now also, our borrowed culinary habits, also compared to our nature's way, is also a point to mention, but I won't delve into that. I just want you to pick up the point and think about Think about all of this. Now look at this as well. Why is the system designed to give more credence to English and religious names instead of our own indigenous names? Why? And this is one big area that we are not looking at, and that is really affecting our lives as individuals and as a nation. It's so sad that we have been brainwashed to believe and refer to our own names as evil, and that those names are connected with some ancestral causes. Yeah, that's what they tell us. Meanwhile, our names are very important to us in Africa, as they hold a lot of meaning and code to our life. Now, we joyfully accept and change our names to English, Biblical, or Arabic names, which is one major reason for our woes. It's common sense to know that you can never be what you are not. And it's also common sense to know that a river that forgets its source will surely dry up. I could go on and on recounting the ills and reasons why the hypnotic colonial education system is simply a control and brainwash tool. You understand? But my intention is to briefly open our conscious eyes and minds, to open our minds to why we need to start doing something very fast about coming back to be our real selves if we really want to reclaim our lost glory and not be second or third class citizens nor perpetual slaves on this planet. The truth is, we will never achieve our fullest potential if we keep being someone else. It's time to be ourselves. It's time to love ourselves more than ever. It's time to respect ourselves. Nobody or nation will respect us if we fail to. After all, we always say that charity begins at home. It's time to come together as one, as blacks, as Africans, as Nigerians. It's time we start taking responsibility, individually and collectively. Africa, it's time to wake up. Time to be conscious of who we really are. Know thyself is the way of the black man. Know thyself. All right. I hope you will think about all of this and find the truth. Until I come your way next, I wish you all the bliss and ecstasy. Bye.